about 40 miles or so south of Candlestick Point at a place that first opened back in 2014 as you get a look at Levi's Stadium here in Santa Clara, California. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Washington Commanders and the San Francisco 49ers. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Now a 1,000-yard rusher a season ago, Antonio Gibson with it. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now.
At the 25-yard line.
Throwing now is Wentz. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Throwing on first is Wentz. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
Good, sure hands there from a guy not accustomed to catching a whole lot of passes. But how about the way he was able to pull that one in and pick up good yardage?
On second down, a run with Gibson. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. This defense for the Niners, they were terrific a week ago in the win over Seattle.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball? Or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright.
And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. They brought him in off the corner, and he gets in to drop him for a loss of 4. Tress Way on 4th down is sent out to punt. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. This is taken at the 15. It'll be a 39-yard punt, 4 on the return. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Washington defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. Now the second-year man from Louisiana. Here's Elijah Mitchell. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Washington looking for another timeout, and they get it. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. On second down, here's Mitchell. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line. Christmas Eve here in 2022. A big slate today of Saturday games. But we will have, ready for this, a triple header of action on Christmas Day tomorrow. I think it's pretty safe to say we won't have a white Christmas in any of these places, however. We start with the Packers and Dolphins in Miami at 1 Eastern. Then you got the Broncos and Rams from Los Angeles. And then finally, the Bucs and Cardinals at 8:20 Eastern in the desert. Plus one more for good measure on Monday. Once the family's all gone back home and Grandma's punted out of the house. Grab the leftovers and sit back and watch the Chargers and the Colts from Indianapolis. The Niners at 3-11 now on the year. And they were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
First down, here's Mitchell. And the defense closes quickly there, and will get maybe a yard to the 33.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Right back to Mitchell on second down. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35. Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. But not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment. Throwing is Garoppolo on third down. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays like we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
Wishnowski on to punt as he sends this one away. And it's fielded at the 34. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
On second down at 4. Wentz. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked by Emmanuel Mosley. Trotty. And into the end zone. A pick 6 for the 49er D as they score a touchdown. So, Charles, our first points of the game provided defensively. What a play that was.
And I can only imagine that the folks at home watching are thinking to themselves, That's one of those plays where once the ball leaves the quarterback's hands, you just sort of go, uh-oh, and wait for the result. This time, the defense benefited.
Gould with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Once more, Gibson. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. An extra DB for the 49ers now on 3rd. Working from the gun, Wentz. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. It's taken to the 26. It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. You know, Charles, season winding down, time to maybe look ahead to the offseason. What do you see these guys going after either in the draft or free agency?
Well, with the season that they're having.
Now a loose football. The ball comes out. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And some space here. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
You remember in preseason when we were going to the different training camps and visiting teams, and we always would see the running backs working out and going through those gauntlet drills, and, you know, guys either slapping at the ball or the machines. You got to learn to take care of it.
Yeah, they lost it there. Big fumble. Throw to the right here, taken in by McLaurin. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line. A few moving pieces on that play because that was an RPO, was it not?
It was, but one important piece that didn't move incorrectly, the offensive line. Because when you're running this play, as he continued down the line of scrimmage, sometimes the lineman can wander downfield. And if you're more than a yard downfield, it's illegal to throw the football at that point. But they held their ground, held their spot, and turned it into a nice gain.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the 1st down.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. On 1st down, right back to Gibson. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Wentz. This will be caught just inside the 10. They'll give him 4 yards there. And all of a sudden here, it's third down. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. On third down, here's Gibson. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an interesting 4th and 1. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
Sly able to put this one through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, trying to atone for it here on this drive. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Once again, it's Mitchell. And this defense able to plug him up there as he'll get a yard to the 35.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. Garoppolo going to try and throw on third. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense because they've been showing their best coverages on third down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Pulled in at the 24. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. A good gain on first, has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. A handoff running left is Gibson. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of people are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
Wentz now on first down. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Second down and 3. Throwing is Wentz. Going up top. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up fourth down.
Now the former Oklahoma Sooner Tress Way on to punt the football. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the 49ers will take over deep in their own territory.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And with a 7-3 lead, we'll see how aggressive they want to be. And now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10. And they'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he'll work this back to right around the line of scrimmage and surrender there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Now Garoppolo throwing on second. Taking a shot for Samuel. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bobby McCain. And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football. Wow, a big mistake there. Late interception in this first half, and that could lead to a field goal try the other way.
Yeah, I think at this point you just had to say, let's take a knee and go into the half and regroup. Let's just talk it over a little bit. I wonder, partner, was the analytics coach in his head a little bit? Maybe go ahead and press it and try and get some points? While the old school coach probably would have said, take the knee, let's get out of here.
Now we could see points the other way here. So we are at halftime here on Christmas Eve as we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. From his end zone, Wilson. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And despite the turnovers, Charles, and they had multiple in that first half, they still have the lead as they begin this third quarter.
And they probably heard some conflicting tones at the half, don't you think? A lot of praise for what they did to get this lead, but also a little bit of scolding because they got to take better care of the football in the second half. But you and I both know the great leaders, they know how to give that little bit of vinegar in there and cover it with a big dose of honey.
In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Right back to Mitchell here. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. That's complete. It's Brandon Ayuk finding room at midfield. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards. The defense, they weren't fooled on that post route. They just couldn't make the play.
And the offense definitely tried to fool them because you saw the other route combinations, didn't you? Anything that they were running trying to draw attention away from the deep part of the field, but still had it covered. Yet they were able to come up with a nice play.
On the counter, Mitchell. And he is going to lose yardage here. No sweat from Montez Sweat that time as he makes that stop look easy.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
They'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss. Up the middle, here's Mitchell. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
They'll try and pick it up with Mitchell. And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone. 45 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. They run over center with Mitchell. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Montez Sweat with a tackle. He's already fumbled once in this game, and I thought the ball started to jostle there a little bit, but they got to him quickly at the line of scrimmage.
They sure did, and remember, if you're not a very confident runner and you've already dropped it once, if there's traffic around you, the only thing you think about is protecting the football, not gaining yards.
And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Washington defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Now Garoppolo. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Chase Young, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
And the passing game's been struggling a bit today, and that was the latest example. Haven't been getting much yardage out of it, and now on his back after the last play, he faces 3rd and long.
Well, that last sack, it puts Garoppolo and the 49ers in a tough spot. They face a 3rd and long. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Bobby McCain. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the third quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in, coming out to start this third quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
So after the INT, here's Wentz. And that is incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. A give to Gibson running right. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 10. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
They'll run with Gibson. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. 13 yards there and a Washington first. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it and pick up first downs.
They'll go again with Gibson. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
But that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now they'll throw it. Wentz. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
But it's not been the best game for him, but he definitely tried to get by with a little help from his friend there, trying to create a big play.
Couldn't do it, fell incomplete. But you're right, hasn't been a banner game here in the second half, just trying to get going.
Big thing is trying to keep confidence up and continue to fire.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. To throw, it's Wentz. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. And he's going to have a Commander's first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Wentz. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
A give running right, Gibson down to about the 45.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
On second down, here's Gibson again. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
I thought he did a nice job there setting an edge and make sure nothing could get to the outside. But he decided that wasn't enough for him. Worked his way back inside and made the tackle on the ball carrier.
Now Wentz on third down. This is caught by his tight end, Logan Thomas. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that's going to make it fourth down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Charles, even as long field goals become more and more common, this is still very rarefied air. Only just over 20 field goals have been kicked from 60 yards or further, and you can add his name to the list now.
And as calm as he tried to present himself, there's no doubt there were some nerves as he lined up to attempt that kick. But once the ball was snapped, he just swept the leg and boom, over the crossbar.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this fourth quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game. And he'll get this up just shy of the 30.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for second down. Right back to Mitchell on second down. And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
And this offense on third down today, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Bobby McCain. And he will bring this one back. An interception return for a Commanders touchdown. Well, part of this defense now with multiple interceptions in this game, but this time they say turnabout is fair play because, remember, they had a pick 6 on the other side, and now they get a pick 6 of their own.
Yeah, they actually added to some of their nice play throughout this ball game. A good effort by them to secure another interception on this one. A better effort to take it all the way back for 6. And how about an exceptional effort to match their opposition's pick 6 from earlier in this game.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. We'll see if they can band back together after the pick 6. It hurt badly, but still within striking distance. A 2-score game with a good chunk of time on the clock. Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. Play action. Garoppolo. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Throwing now is Garoppolo. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I'll tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to be a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Garoppolo. Screen play setting it up for Mitchell. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
And when you're throwing the ball downfield really well like they have been on this drive, it's really a nice time to work one of the screen plays in. One of my favorite play callers in the game has always told me he starts every game with 10 to 12 screens because if he starts feeling the pressure from the defense, he uses their aggressiveness against them.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Michael Kendricks coming in to drop him.
He's brought down back at the 40-yard line.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Here's Garoppolo to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. All smiles and high fives on that defensive sideline. That interception will cap off what was truly a tremendous performance.
Yeah, if you can hold a team to 7 points in the NFL, that's the kind of day that you feel really good about. Now, I do know a few guys are going to think to themselves, held them to 7. If we'd made one more play, could have had our shutout.
Here's a give to Gibson. Down to about the 45. He was close to flirting with that sideline, but able to stay in bounds like you know his coach wants him to do and keep that clock moving.
Isn't it funny that we're watching this play when we had that discussion just yesterday about this? What do you do in this scenario? What do you know, what's your mindset? It appeared to me that he'd totally forgotten that he needed to stay in bounds, and then the last second, oh no, I better get down. And he ended up doing the right thing. But at that point, maybe close to letting it slip away. I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now Wentz. That one caught by the tight end Bates. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
They'll go. It's Gibson. And he's going to have the 1st down, yardage to the 35. That one a backbreaker as they wind up converting there on 4th.
And there's your dagger right there. I tell you, there's a lot of coaches in the league that would not have gone for it on 4th down. But with a 2-score lead, they roll the dice. Get the 1st down, and that should be enough to salt this one away.
Wentz with a kneel down, and that will be the final act of this game.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right? Just us against the world and get it done. How happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one.
So a victory here for the Commanders. Well, on one side of this, Charles, an impressive victory. On the other, I mean, you think about it, they scored in the first quarter, but then they didn't score in quarters 2, 3, or 4. They're going to have a lot of work to do before stepping back on the field.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting tape to analyze, won't it? Because why did it work in the first quarter, but nothing in quarters 2, 3, and 4? So we always talk about adjustments. You don't just wait till halftime. You do it series to series. They'll be working on that in preparation for their next game.
So for the Commanders, their hopes of a winning campaign stay alive as they move to 7-8 now on the year.
And they'll return home next week to take on the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for San Francisco,